Pisces, now we get to you. We're going to have a little fun. We're going to shake the maraca. All right. Before I even get there, I have an idea. Somebody had their catalytic converter stolen. I don't want this. Please don't make it cry out. Todos. All right, let's see. Happy Osotbo. All right, so somebody has their catalytic converter stolen. You have brown eyes. I mean, I suppose the person who stole the catalytic converter, I feel like you have the brown eyes. Somebody had their catalytic converter stolen, and like just recently. That feels like just a few months ago. All right, that's weird. When I say that the person connected to Australia knows about a practitioner who lost their license due to malpractice, I mean in a big way. No, not yet. No, not yet. No, not yet. Somebody has a really big brown dog. Somebody's name is Jennifer. Jennifer has a big brown dog. Somebody's name is Sandra. If you hear me exhaling, it's not because, let me get the magic wand. It's not because I'm exasperated. It's because I'm just kind of breathing through it. I've got a bus driver named Al. Al is connected to the name Feather. Literally, somebody's name is Feather. I don't know when the channeling happens, guys, so when it does, it just does. When you hear the volume fluctuating, it's because I'm not using a professional mic right now. I'm just using earbuds, and I'm checking the camera to make sure that nothing happens to it. Got a Scorpio. There's somebody out there who wants, you still want a Scorpio. That Scorpio is connected to Delaware. Connected to Delaware, yep. The brown dog is connected to Sandra. Or a dog is connected to Sandra. Somebody's name is Sheena. Somebody's name is Sheena. Okay. Sheena. Do I get something about Sheena? Sheena could be connected to the phone number that ends in 6605. 6605. 6605. 6605. That's how I hear it. All right. Let's see what's going on. I'm so sorry about the catalytic converter. Sandra, Sheena. P320. P320. Somebody has a Sig Sauer. Be careful with your weapons, people. Make sure that children can't access them. I don't know if that's connected to the catalytic converter. But you would know if I say P320. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. All right, guys. So let's see what the main theme for the week is for you. Pisces, you guys are so sweet. I'm a Pisces moon. 7th house, you know. So, like, I like dreaming. Because dreaming will make you mine. Okay. Whoa, there it is. 9 of Wands in reverse. Second time I've seen that. All right, today, very good, very good. So for the overall theme, you feel like you can drop your guard, you can lower your guard a bit. You know, you don't have to feel so defensive. Be careful signing contracts, especially if it's about real estate, investing, basically. Because like the question I feel like I don't trust them. I'm sorry to tell you that. I don't trust them. I don't trust it. I don't. It reminds me of something that my sons will know why it's funny. Maybe you do too. I don't trust like that. All right? Undo that button. Take off that button. I don't trust like that. If you know, you know. Okay, so be careful with the investing. Do you trust that person, man? I wouldn't sign anything right now. I wouldn't even be buying real estate. You know, I mean, like, yes, it is. It is a buyer's market. Wait until the sellers get a little bit more desperate. Ooh, very nice. Okay, for the challenge, we have the High Priestess. So as a challenge, that just means that your challenge is to trust yourself more, to trust your own intuition. Also, to stay silent when you need to. You don't have to tell everybody everything. I can tell you that I learned that a specific way, because of a relative. It wasn't because of the general public. So now, every time I have excellent news, anything like, don't tell people about your relationships when you're dating a fantastic person, you've met like the love of your life, keep it quiet like you would when you're expecting. That's for different reasons, but so that, because you just wait. But not for the same reason. Not for the same reason. It's just, you could develop haters and stuff, and then people, look, yes, I believe in if they're going to talk, then give them something to talk about, because who cares? They suck, right? But the issue that I have is energetically, I don't know you all. I'd like to know you all. But if you're a low moment, I don't know, like not everybody's trying to be some kind of a bastard or douche trying to do something to you from a weird coven, or you got haters. But sometimes the people who smile in your face and are the nicest to ya are the ones that you gotta watch. I'm not saying don't trust and just, hold that as a mantra. I'm saying, you don't have to tell everybody everything. My mom used to tell me that all the time, and I'm always like, spent my life like, I'm an open book, I don't care. I'm an open book, I don't care. And now it's like, well, I don't have any secrets, but the things that I hold close to my heart, maybe I'm not going to share those. Okay? I don't know why. Somebody needs to hear that. Okay. Let's see if we can get your finances. And we will clarify. I'm feeling really good about this. Okay. Yeah, just watch that if you're looking for some funding kind of situation. You could feel, oh, good. Okay, nice. So we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, it's a card of making a choice and waiting for even the opportunities to present themselves so that you could make a choice, you see, because he's got this expectation. I believe the sun is rising. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole, okay, so you see what I'm saying. And he's got the white flower. I don't know if that's a calla lily. And he's got roses. So this is a person who's self-made. Doesn't have to be, but is a person who is singularly focused on the future. All right. So for romance, not quite. I hope you're doing well whenever you get this message, and it will be valid for about a week. 5 days or so, and you will be getting monthly forecasts. I just don't know when you'll see them. I don't know if they will go up as I speak this message to you. All right. Almost. Talk about the romance. Everything feels good. It feels peaceful. It feels quiet. I don't know. Somebody works for Roto-Rooter, or some is a plumber. That's what that is. Okay, because I could see to me it looks like, but I'm much older than most of you guys are, so it looked like the old Roto-Rooter vans that, in LA. Somebody wants to go right up your pipe. You got to watch that, people. You don't need to be sleeping around with people if you're in some kind of a wholesome, committed, and, trustworthy relationship where nobody's out to hurt anybody, and that they're not doing weird things. Please be careful. We've just seen too much in the news about people being such dirty dogs that, I don't know, man. I don't know. Somebody needs to hear that, though. Roto-Rooter. Somebody wants to go right up your pipe. Somebody knows a plumber is a plumber trying to go up somebody's pipe. I don't want any visual. All right, let's see. Holy Spirit. Does this deck want to change? Do we change? Oh. Okay, just as we speak it. So we have the Six of Swords. So Six of Swords indicates that you've changed your mind about a lot of things, that you've really moved on from the past, whatever it is in your past that was bothering you. Even if you could say, Rita, I'm not completely healed. Well, what is healing? What is healing? Completely healed is a process. Maybe it takes a lifetime. It doesn't mean that you stop your life because you're healing. All right. What other deck should we use? Let me think. Somebody has a panic disorder. And you have to really watch those because, Oh, I think that we're going to do some Ask Your Guides cards here in a minute when we get more of the information. But it is important. You need to be careful with that because a panic disorder, if it's left untreated, that can become agoraphobia. It could really cause problems. So you'll know if you have a panic disorder. You could feel lightheaded, you could get dizzy, you could feel like you can't breathe, all the typical symptoms, but you could also feel detached. You feel spacey, like you're not in reality. It's sometimes if you're struggling with a panic disorder, there's almost a depersonalization present, so please watch that. If you feel like, or you have a panic disorder, I'm going to grab these. Then make sure that you talk to somebody about it if it gets out of control, all right? All things work themselves out, but we want to help them along, right? Okay, so let's get the solution card and see how that ties in. The solution card for me is something like a summary card. It just gives me another cue before I just go freestyling. I am a self-coined freestyle life coach because I will do what works. All right. If you're interested in a coaching session and all that, you could just head over to my website and you'll see links. It's very simple to navigate. It won't give you panic. You will not panic about it. All right. So for the summary, excellent Pisces. We have the Hermit card. Another major arcana. Looks great to me. From the High Priestess as a challenge to the Hermit. That is about being silent. The challenge about going within. Maybe challenge to remain maybe quiet about the process of going within and clearing up, doing any remnant shadow work to the Hermit, which is not only fully versed in introspection, but also holds the lamp for others to be able to do the same work. And here you seemingly guide yourself through some passage. All right, so let's clarify. Check the time. Okay. Well, I think that this Page of Wands is associated with some past instance, something that caused you to feel defensive in the first place. Now, this could mean that you can identify with this if I say, well, you get some bad news and you are so angry you want to tell everyone, but I don't see that. I think that this really is a past. It could be a recent situation because this is such a transient reading. All right, let's see if there's anything else to say here, because I really want to use the other oracle there that, these are very, very old. Like I was still living in California and brought them with me, moved, across different locations even. Okay, this one feels like it is done. So I think we're going to clarify with Tarot of the Modern Witch first. Okay. This is a fun deck. Tarot of the Modern Witch for those of you that are interested. Release the Kung Fu grip, Rita. All right, let's clarify that Nine of Wands in reverse. I don't want to dwell on the past for you. It could be red. No, I'm not even going to say it because I don't think you need to worry about that. I think that this is part of the panic disorder. Sorry about that. That this is part of like a bit of a thread hanging from the past. All right, it's okay. You are okay. You are enough. Of course you are. All right. Okay, so we have the Five of Swords in reverse. I think we will clarify this way. I think that part of what hurts your feelings is a betrayal by your friends or a friend group or some people very close to you. And, Five of Swords in reverse, I don't know. I always think that this chick looks like she's wearing a lab coat, could be a medical professional of some kind, but this is definitely a betrayal from, by some friends. And in the reverse, I think you're getting over it. And with the Page of Wands in reverse, you may have received news about this. Maybe it came up again in some kind of a conversation. All right. Now with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, maybe this is news that disrupted your home. I don't think, I don't see anything here that seems to go into ancient history, like divorces and things. But, Maybe this is someone who was supposed to be part of your home, or your family group, or your tribe. Okay, it doesn't have to be your family. You know, tribu can mean so many different things. But I think that here this is somebody that was close to your family, and maybe you've had to, or you feel like there is some distance, some chasm between you, that to reach a level of comfort again or closeness would require going off and doing some introspection. And this is recent past. So, all right, let's check the camera again. Okay, so let's clarify that happy high priestess over here, because as a challenge, she's not causing problems. Were she in the reverse, I would be a little bit more concerned. All right. Okay. Oh, justice, upright. Very good. So something that you may have gotten some news about or cannot speak about, or was some negative, less than happy news, is actually something that is fair. Hopefully it is what's fair for you. You don't seem wounded. You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's an issue that could cost you a little bit of money. Maybe there's something that, oh, okay, I spoke a bit too soon. I am going to take it because it did kind of drop into my lap. I have the Hierophant in reverse. There could be some news that is connected to a divorce. Okay, so there could be some of you that, I don't think that it is a current divorce. You could be, but I think it's more like a contemplation about a former divorce, or about a impending divorce, or something that kind of looms on your mind. But you see, this moving away from it, you know, it could be that you look forward to brighter days. Let's see if we could get some more people cards in here. Huh. Very strange. Wait, I'm going to do something else. Hang on just a second. I know that this could get wild. We're not going to let it get out of control, little children, okay? Well, I'm not going to take it because that says this, and I don't know if with this person you feel this. And there's a situation in your life that's essentially unsatisfying. You know, because then we also have this. But let's reframe this. In fact, let's get another grouping of okay, clarify the Hierophant with a channeled message. I got that community horse again. Let me make sure that they're facing the wrong way. YouTube doesn't indiscriminately penalize everybody for certain words if they're used in context, okay? The word whore is a word. I mean, you know what I mean? They're far more concerned about other things that could bring harm to people. But this is a tarot reading, and these words would be in the context. Okay, I get the drug dealer again. Okay, let's just lay them out. There could be an issue with somebody that you know who has been involved in this. Not for everybody, obviously, but, you know, I'm going to... And these are the months that are significant. This is what came out. I really just wanted people information. Let's try again, and then we will continue clarifying where we at. Yeah, we've got time. Clarify. Let's try this. Clarify the Justice card and see if something here, well, fell in my lap. Okay, I have got a reference to gray hair and an uncle. Okay, that doesn't mean that the judge or the justice system, that just means that this should be a clue in some way. What the heck? How did we go left? You know, I was feeling pretty good about this. It doesn't seem to be about you directly, though. Something here could impact your finances. Something could be rocking the family, or did rock the family. But it seems like you're moving away from this after having collected your thoughts and your swords. And, you know, maybe you're illuminating the situation. Now, this is where we've clarified the omens for your week for the big topics. What are we clarifying? We're going to clarify... Man, I want to go to that Hierophant again. Hang on. Let's clarify the Five of Swords. Oh, okay, we have a problem here. So the Empress in reverse is a very selfish wench. You know, this is a very lazy person. It doesn't mean she doesn't go to her job every day, but otherwise she just kind of sits there in her luxuries and is only interested in eating, you know, mange. All she's doing is papiando la comida and kind of sitting there watching TV. She doesn't seem very exciting. Maybe this is the person that you feel you get no sexual satisfaction from. Maybe this is the person who in the past was the community horse, if you know what I mean. Let's transmute that with a mantra. I welcome balance into every area of my life. Let's repeat it. I welcome balance into every area of my life. Okay. Oh, okay. Now this is odd because it wanted to pop out. No pun intended. Buttock implants. Somebody's got implants. I'm sorry. Maybe the person with the implants. Don't do it, people. I mean, do whatever you want. I'm not your mother. Okay, so maybe the person with implants has gray hair or silver hair, or is, that would be kind of weird if it's an uncle, you know, but I can't, I'm sorry. Okay, come on. Spirit, I don't know if, I think that I'm just trying to lighten the mood, maybe unconsciously. Okay. So somebody could be born in the year, the Chinese animal, rabbit, cat, or hare. That's one animal, folks. As some people say year of the cat, some people say year of the rabbit. It is the year of the hare, the rabbit, and the cat, whichever you like. Okay. Very quick thinking individuals. Very quick thinking, very cunning. They can tend towards some nervous disorders, and that ties in with that panic situation. Somebody has a panic disorder. Somebody feels like, you know, they need to, you know, you probably already know that you have this. Now, remember, medications are not a forever answer. I've got, don't take the bait. Be very careful if this is not somebody that you know. I could be talking to somebody who's experienced a death in the family, and you would be retired, law enforcement, and a grandpa. And again, this Empress is a prostitute. Okay, I'm going to have to, can I get a glass of water? I'm really sorry because I've seen that, you know, we can't deny it now, can we? Oh my goodness, what the heck is this? So I'm talking to somebody with, whether they dye their hair or not, they're somebody's uncle or they're the one with the gray hair. There has been a death in the family to someone who is retired law enforcement. They are a grandpa. And the Empress, oh no! Somebody's divorcing? Okay. Now, this is where these cards get weird, and I don't know why they're facing the wrong way. Let me reorient them. I didn't drink my water, did I? Are you drinking water, sweetheart? You are a water sign. Very, very, very watery. Pardon me, let's maferefun todos, okay? Let's shake the maraca because I don't know what I think about this. Okay, guys, this could be a message that now continues as a little bit more challenging for some, so we're going to try to abbreviate this a bit, shall we? Okay, let's just get another couple of answers here about the retired law enforcement officer who is a grandpa, who could be an Aries or a fire sign. Who could be involved? Oh, Lord, please. Death in the family. And now, hopefully he doesn't have the butt implants. Maybe he was warned not to take the bait and hooked up with an Empress? What happened, Grandpa? Somebody retired law enforcement. A reference to the month of May. Gosh. Okay, wow. And his Empress is a prostitute? Lord have mercy. I can't even, like, here. Let me just make sure that we... Sorry about interfering. I'm going to grab another little stack. And let's see what we get, because this is kind of odd, but it's kind of intriguing here. Like, inquiring minds want to know, but I don't. Sandra. Sheena. The law enforcement officer's name starts with an S or is associated with an S. Is associated with a Scorpio from Delaware. I don't know. And a Sig Sauer P320. What the heck is in my energy? gosh, get out of my energy, whoever you are. Pisces, I'm so sorry about that. If you're going through this, or hopefully you only know about this. All right. Spirit, give us one or two more, and then we want to wrap this up for the rest of the Piscean community. What do we want to know? Channel messages for Pisces and whatever this, that's a whole prostitute, an entire prostitution situation with a retired law enforcement officer who's had a death in the family in the month of May or related to the month of May. Don't take the bait. And he's an Aries or she and a fire sign, but he's got an Empress. It's a he and a grandpa. What the hell? Okay, this one doesn't want to go in. Real estate fraud, and someone's a private detective. Okay. We're not going to go into crime hour because this will just be too draining. Holy Spirit, first of all, let's get some charms to tell us, let's close this kind of, here, what do? We protect ourselves against these types. Okay, so we've got an Aquarius is significant, a Virgo, a Pisces. We have a Gemini is significant, Aries sign is significant. Be brave, whoever you are. Grandpa, boy, if you were a cop or something like this in the prostitutical and a fire sign. And the letter U is significant. Now, let's stop right there. I'm going to check the time. And let's get something more interesting, shall we? Let's go to... Boy, I've got a loud neighbor downstairs. He's just like slamming stuff around. I hope you didn't hear that. All right, I don't know why I grabbed them, but these are the Gypsy Oracle cards by Sibilla de la Zingarra. Signora Zingarra, okay? Oraculo di la Gitana. They're Italian, I like them. Okay. Sibilla really is just, it means gypsy. Sibilla, Signora Zingarra. Wow, so we've got friend. Somebody is your friend. How does that relate to the collective? Somebody is a friend and a wife. Is this a prostitute? Lord. All right. Because we're sealing up this previous. So you know what? Maybe somebody's wife. Maybe this law enforcement officer who is an Aries or a fire sign, who's a grandpa, had a death in the family in May. Or in the... Yeah, May. It said May. May? Oh my. Okay, prostitute, and don't take the bait. And there's some real estate fraud, and there's a private detective. These people are in trouble. Seems like the rest of you Pisces that aren't committing crimes are doing just fine. Moving away from problems. Doing very well by, illuminating your own path. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Don't wait for others to illuminate for you. Although, in the tarot and these hobbies that we have and these things that we do, this is fun. Give us one more about these two people or this situation or this, person who frequents houses of ill repute. Okay, so we've got a conversation in reverse. That's not a good sign. Okay, do we dare pull one more? I don't know about this because the oracle seems to be very negative on these people. Gosh, nobody wants this person in law enforcement. They're a widower or they have lost somebody in their family recently. I can't with this one. Okay, now let's go away. Transmute that energy. We don't want it. And let's use the Ask Our Guides Oracle and this is by Sonia Choquette. And they are a little bit older, but they are lots of fun. And if, let's see, can you see them? Because I'm sitting right over here, but I've been relaxed a bit, sitting back in the chair. All right, now we're going to forget about those people, please. Can we forget about those people? Discontent muses. I think we'll read this. I hate when, readers read out of the book because it can take too long, but it is, if you don't have the book, then it's something that we need to do. I don't mean to take up your time, but I don't know these by heart, and I could just, make up my mind about it. Let's find number 8. Which is discontent, dissatisfaction, seeking, searching, and conclusions. Sooner or later, okay, so basically what it's saying is see your frustration as a longing to learn more, expand more, dare more, and create more. Pretty obvious. Can we please move away from this energy, Spirit? All right, let's get a message that will wrap this up for the week. Truth and your higher self. Now, that goes without saying, right? We need to be able to ground ourselves, but we need mostly to ground ourselves in what we know to be the truth. Let's just look and see what the tagline is for card 21. Okay. Your higher self is sharpening your perspective. And there's a quote. So basically, it says your higher self is sharpening your perception and clarifying your views so that you can make important and necessary changes at this time. As Carl Jung once said, when the diagnosis is correct, the healing begins. And your higher self's message is look for the truth behind appearances. Okay, so we could say that there's a situation here where somebody's gotten involved with somebody who wasn't who they thought they were. Maybe that's, hopefully this is not a situation that is too recent in the past for you. I invite you to welcome balance into every area of your life. And I'm not going to just leave it there in this suck-ass message, okay? Let's find something that can make us all feel better about this. So let's look at a little bit of a love message from the, what is this? Doreen Virtue's, what is this called? I can't remember. This is Doreen. Gosh, I can't remember. These are the Archangel Love Messages or something like this. I hate to not tell you in case you guys are interested in them, so let me grab the box for you. Okay, these are the Romance Angels. I couldn't remember that for the life of me. Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue. Okay, so let's get a Romance Angel because it looks like everything else will work itself out unless, you're part of the parties here of the people that are doing the prostitutical thing with a guy who has had a death in the family in May. Oh my goodness. All right. So, okay, you guys. If you're single, someone worth waiting for is there for you. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Oh, if you're attached, love yourself first.
Ma fait le fou avec moi.